when you talk about somebody who is a narcissist, one of those key characteristics is they cannot ever admit the slightest mistake or error. And you'll notice but there may be some video where maybe Trent may admitted that he made a mistake for public consumption. But I have never seen Trent since 2018, 17. I've never seen him admit even one mistake or error. No matter how many times he's been absolutely corrected on easily verifiable factual claims and inaccuracies. For example, that the term triad is an Aryan term, which he still to this day believes, even though his own Eastern Rite liturgy, where he supposedly attends church, uses that term for the Trinity. It boggles my mind that that guy has quintupled down for years now about this point, all the way back to our debate. It's bizarre. I don't, I mean, so what does that mean? Well, it's the same pattern of behavior that reminds me of Michael Lofton. Lofton did the exact same stuff back when there were brouhahas and fracas ABZ with Lofton and Ibarra. Lofton had absolutely no ability to even admit the slightest mistake or error. Now, everybody, I don't care who you are, no matter how smart you are, everybody's going to make some kind of mistake. You're going to get some reference wrong, some point wrong. You're going to say something wrong. And in this case, it doesn't even matter. As I said, like no matter how many times it gets pointed out, like he cannot admit that he made a mistake, just like Michael Lofton. And in both cases, what ends up happening is you will be your own worst enemy because there's this entire persona that's constructed that's super fragile. And the reason they can't admit a mistake is that they see that as then their whole persona collapsing because they think that they have to erect a false persona of perfection, right? But they also know deep down, this is why they're divided against themselves. They actually know deep down that that it's not true at all, right? So there's this divide within them. And this is what in psychology they talk about with a mask, right? So narcissists have a mask whereby there's a public persona that's put forward that is affable, that's charming, that's very pleasant to talk to, super nice, so reasonable, very charitable publicly. And then privately, it's absolute chaos. Inside, they are raging, filled with hate, avarice, spite, etc. Now, back when all the stuff popped out with Lofton, I explained to people, do you understand that the public persona that you see with Michael Lofton is not the real Michael Lofton? Behind the scenes, he's engaged in all kinds of just chicanery and just absolutely a piece of garbage actions behind the scenes. Same with William Albrecht, right? It's the exact same thing with Trent Horn. Trent Horn's whole public persona is a false nice guy persona that is it's like a car salesman type of pitch or mentality. And you know that because, again, at multiple levels over the years, there have been so many instances of where he's gotten things totally wrong, but he cannot admit any single mistake. That's the number one sign. Now, we're all going to be a little hard-headed. We're all going to be a little stuck in our positions. We're all going to be reluctant to admit we made a mistake. But to never be able to admit a mistake on very obviously factually wrong things, think about the debate that I did with Marquette. Everybody in the comments could see Marquette is putting out a fake false persona. There's multiple obvious mistakes that he's made throughout this 2-hour discussion. And at no point in that 2-hour discussion could he even give a little bit of ground, even when he explicitly stated things wrong from 1 minute to the next, contradicting himself. In other words, the entire exercise was a confidence man projection. And his approach was, I'm going to bet on my audience not even catching the fact that I'm making these mistakes, because if I project confidence, I've got him. And it's the exact same thing with Trent Horn, where if he projects nice guy, affable public persona, his audience, which is super low tier voters, go read the comments and they're just retards, right? They don't have any sensibility. They don't know anything about church history, theology, etc. They're listening to the pop apologists, okay? And that's all super low tier stuff, right? Quote mines and now just whining about moral superiority. And so to me, this is the last gasp that channels end up with, right? When Catholic channels and apologists. And in general, when they get to this stage, and this is exactly what happened with Lofton, this is the last gasps of Catholic apologetics. And the only reason it even has a little bit of breath in it is because Trent has agreed to do 2 debates with me finally, after years of prodding and pushing and harassing him, not literally, but like getting Tim Gordon to talk to him and getting Tim Gordon to, hey, tell Trent, getting Trent to, do it basically. Now, let's get back to Trent, because Trent is all of the same psychology. It's all the same persona. And it will not go well for Trent when we do our 2 debates. We have agreed to 2 debates. Watch him, by the way, be a complete pussy and back out at this point. Watch him use these excuses of this as to why, I am actually now too morally superior to, again, engage with these debates. Now, he went to DebateCon, showed up, drinking beer with a leather jacket. Cool. He's a cool guy. Oh, I'm a cool guy. Like I'm a guy like you guys are a cool guy. Why, I too will drink a beer with the bros. I too will shoot the pool with the bros at the bar. I'm not joking, right? You guys saw the picture, right? We thought it was like funny, right? I'm joking about the leather jacket. That's like a reference to this was like Arrested Development, right? Remember when George Michael decides he needs edge, so he wears a leather jacket and puts gel in his hair. So Trent decided he wanted to demonstrate edge, so he showed up. Oh, he's so nice in person. He's just so charitable. So charitable. Why aren't you charitable? Listen, anytime somebody comes at me talking about how they're charitable, I'm running for the hills, dude, because I know this is some kind of gay psychopath, right? Anybody touting their charitableness, right? Classic Lofton. I'm running for the hills, dude. By the way, he did not want to take that picture, right? Now, he didn't want to tell me no because Trent was pretty drunk at this event. I'm like literally sloshed at the event. He could barely shoot pool. He was so drunk. So he didn't really want to take the picture, but he didn't want to tell me no because it would kind of be like a, dick bag move with like 20 people standing around. So he took the picture, acted like he was having fun, but he wasn't having fun. He didn't want to take this picture. So, but wait a minute, I thought I mean, why would I go up to Trent and, say hi and talk to him and try to get a picture and, oh, but no, you say I'm mean and I'm just the worst. I'm just so evil, dude. It's just unreal how evil we are over here.